Alrighty, here we go. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Think we are ready to go. Type chat to live chat, everyone. Welcome to the Flipside. I read my own post in chat. Isn't that awesome? It's kind of weird. Anyway, welcome to the Flipside. I'm Sam. Nice to have you here. Leave us a like and subscribe button if you would like to. Please do. That does help support the channel pretty well. And hit that bell icon because that'll let you know when we have more videos coming out and available for your perusal. Let's see here. Vanessa is here. What's up? Good to see you. Karen is here. Karen was actually the first one to say hello. So hello, Karen. Vanessa is here. Good afternoon. Thumbnail looks a little pixelated. That might be because we had to my old editing rig gave up the ghost, basically. The battery won't hold a charge. Many of the apps, even some of the newer apps, the newer programs just aren't being supported anymore because my computer is so old by modern standards. Okay, so I bought a new computer, and I'm still finding little things that I need to tweak the settings on every once in a while, and I think the thumbnail output from the program that I'm using is one of those things that I need to go back and double check. So I apologize for that. It also could just be a YouTube thing, because sometimes YouTube just doesn't do what I think it's supposed to do or what it's supposed to do. Anyway, so sorry about that. All good now. Hey, Karen, good to see you guys. Tom is here. What's up? What's up? David Brownlee is here. Howdy, howdy. Good thing I didn't rush to get here on time. To you too, David. Good to see you. Eddie Har is here. What's up? About to grab a bag of Cheetos to enjoy while watching. That's disgusting, bro. Oh my goodness. Because I know what you do with Cheetos. That's gross, nasty. Anyway. Everybody is saying hello to everyone. Just arrived, Luke says. Good to see you, Luke. Good to have you here. Good to see ya. All right, so we are going to be playing this little guy right here. This is from Worthington Publishers, or Worthington Publishing, LLC. And you know I'm a fan of historical board games. I just am. I don't play a lot of them because usually the ones that are out are usually kind of heavy. That's why I usually stick to like Academy Games is usually the deepest dive that I'm going to make into historically based games, board games. Now there are other ones. Compass Games has some that are very good that I've played. Richard Borg has allowed his Command and Colors design to be used in some of Worthington Publishing games. So that's been cool, and I've got those. But like I've had Washington's War on my shelf for so long, and even though it's Revolutionary War and it's super interesting to me, the rule book, man, good night. I gave up. So, but it's still on my shelf. I haven't completely given up. But anyway, this is a solitaire game. It actually tells you right there on the box, War of 1812, Solitaire. And if you look it up on BGG, it's called the Solitaire Travel Game. Anyway, we're going to be trying this out today. On Thursdays we usually do solo plays, and so I thought this is one that I just got from the Dice Tower to be reviewed shelves. So let's get some work done and get a play of this in so that I can start that process of playing it and learning it and going to give it a review on the Dice Tower soon. Volume is a little low, but not as low as last time. All right, well, we can play with that. It's really bugging me that I have to do this every single time I restart the computer, though. It's really bugging me. Let's go ahead and just put this Let's go to 0. How's that? All right. So that's at 100%. That looks pretty good, yeah? I think that's all right. Okay, here we go. Here we go. I'm going to get off of that because that's bugging me. All right. Audio is a little low. Thank you, Vanessa. And thank you, David. He either missed my post about the audio or ignored it. No, I wasn't ignoring it. I just saw it. I thought audio was a little low as well, but 80%, he sounds fine. All right. Well, yes, the rules for some of those games are rough. I do love Academy games. 878 Vikings and all the Birth of America series are fantastic. You are correct, sir. Philip Zomberg, I can't say I have any desire to play this, but willing to be convinced. Volume is not bad here, Karen says. I can now hear Sam's beard growing. No, you can't. I can't even hear that. Of course, I don't have very good hearing anyway. So, well, I think that's pretty good, right? Well, hey. I'm just going to continue to soldier forward here. All right. So let's go ahead and get down to the table and we'll take a look at how it is. Look at that. I even have it set up to where you guys can see the board and I can see the board straight up at the same time. It's right here. Woo! All right. So very simply, the sequence of play is put right here. So what I'm going to do every turn, I've got basically up to 20 turns to achieve victory. And each turn is going to be simply me, first of all, rolling this 6-sided die to determine how many resource points I get. So I can get up to 3 resource points. And that allows me for 1 action point each or 1 resource point each. I get to choose one of these actions and I can do 1 to 3 of them depending on how many resource points I get from the die roll. All right, then after I'm going to do that, I'm going to roll the die to determine what the British AI does. And so they do one thing on the odd turn and one thing on the even turn on each of these different ones. So depending on what turn we're on down here, the die roll and that will determine what they do. And then after I've gone and the British AI has gone, we'll advance this 1 and we repeat that step. So what am I basically trying to do here? Well, victory, actually the box even boasts victory within 30 minutes. So either that's a lie and I'm going to lose, or it's prophetic. All right, so what happens here at the begin? So how do we win? So instant British victory if British front markers occupy 2 American starting towns simultaneously after turn 4. So if any of these spots, if 2 of these spots are simultaneously controlled by the British front markers at the end of turn 4, oh, actually it says simultaneously after turn 4. So if at any point during all of these turns, I'm thinking that this is after turn 4. If they don't by turn 4, then I've got the rest of the game to play. So this is like an immediate British victory. Maybe I could be wrong. Let me know what you guys think. Otherwise, you go by victory points. There is a automatic victory for the Americans as well. Why isn't it listed here? Because I read it. I know I read it. Where is it? Where is it? All right, hold on. Sorry. I have to stop because I need to make sure that I didn't just think I read something. Okay, instant British victory is 2 American cities are occupied simultaneously after turn 4. Okay. Okay, I guess I was just wrong. British bot cannot be played. Ignore it. Optional reserve, American reserves. Only one marker. I don't understand. I guess I just read something that I thought was possible. But I guess not. Okay, well, anyway. So much beige. Well, yeah, that's true. I can now. Do you always fight the British? I believe so. Yes. You are the Americans, and you are fighting against the British. I don't believe it can be done the other way around, because if you flip this little guy around, it doesn't have anything for an American bot, an American AI. So the British are the AI, and the American is the player. So as you can see there, there isn't a way to go about doing it the other way around. Instant British victory. There is nothing that says instant American victory, but if anybody that's watching knows, let me, because I swear I read it, but it was like a very attack the north side of the British bot, resolving attacks, advances, Montreal, St. Lawrence, resolving ship attacks, American regulars. Nope. Okay, so add 6 victory points. All right, so at the end of the round, whenever the game ends, because from round 17 to 20, if we roll a 6 on the British AI turn, peace occurs and the game ends immediately. So whenever the game ends immediately from these 4 turns here, we're just going to simply add up victory points. So if Montreal is occupied by the Americans, we will get 6 points. If York is occupied, then we get 3. Then you add 1 victory point for each town other than Montreal, New York, or starting American towns advanced occupied along each front. Then you add 1 victory point for every lake controlled. There's 3 lakes out there. And then you deduct 2 victory points for each lake controlled by the British, and you deduct 2 for if the the Northwestern Warrior marker is in play. So if the Indians have joined the battle, or rather the Native Americans have joined the battle, then you will lose 2 victory points. And then you'll also deduct 2 victory points for any American flag town occupied by the British. So any of these that are occupied are going to also be minus 2 points. So you just calculate how many points you've received, and then you have a score chart here that tells you how well you did. Okay, here it is. I found it. Very cool. It's optional. If the Americans occupy Montreal and New York at the end of any game turn, they win an instant victory. I knew I read it, but there it is. It's optional. All right, there we go. Now I don't feel as crazy as I did. All right, so let's go ahead and get started here. So the Americans are going to go first. Basically what we're going to do is we're going to see how many action points I have. Then, if I want to, I can use those things to attack towns that are adjacent. If I win, and the advance results are here, so when I choose to attack, I'm going to roll a die. If I get a 1 or a 2, we're still stalemate. If I get a 3 or a 6, the attacker wins, and I push forward. So, like for example, if I win here at Fort George, then they will be pushed back. They will be pushed back this way, and Americans will be pushed forward that way. But as you can see here on York, for example, York has a -2 DRM, which is a dice roll modifier, and Montreal has a -2 DRM dice roll modifier. And the forts here also have dice roll modifiers. The forts all have -1 dice roll modifiers, but York and Montreal are -2. So what I would do in this attack specifically is I would roll the die, -1 for it being a fort, and then if I have a 3 to 6, then I win like this. All right. Same thing will happen if the British are attacking me. I'm going to roll them, and if I'm in a fort, then it's a -1 for them. If I'm not in a fort, it's just a straight up die roll, and so forth and so on. Now, there are times where I can put regulars into I can activate my regular army, basically. So if I want to, I can use a resource point to put some regulars in there, like so, and you can see that the regulars will give me a die reroll. Now, if I choose to use them, they do go away, and they just go back to my pool, and I can put them back in later, but they will come off the board. Now, if I don't use it, they will be able to move with me, and I can choose to move. I can choose to use them whenever I wish. All right, so that's how that works. Now, if the warriors come into play, we'll have to look at that in a little bit because Northwest warrior marker. I don't know where that goes. Oh, you can just attack them. Okay, so if you attack the Northwest marker, the Northwest warrior marker, they probably just come back out of play. Place a marker on the warrior when they are in play until the warrior marker is removed. American attacks on towns. Ooh, in the Northwest front, which is up here. So if we go up this way, if we're attacking here and these guys are in play, then we get a -1 on all of these rolls here. But we can attack them using the warrior chart. So again, it's 1 to 3, no effect. 4 to 6, remove the warrior. But they aren't in play yet. All right, so that's generally speaking how this is going to work. Let's see what we do here. All right, that's cocked. Great start, Sam. All right, here we go. So we have a 5. All right, so a 5 to 6 means we have 3 resource points that we can use. So I think what we're going to do here, first of all, add 1 adjacent British front to a fortified attack British ships, British-controlled lake. All right, so all of the lakes are British-controlled right now, so I could do that. I know that some of the abilities over here say that if the British controls the lake, then they get to attack a town or what have you. So that's one of the reasons why you want to maybe change British control for the lakes here. But I think what we'll do is we're going to first of all add a regular army here at Fort Niagara. Then I'm going to attack the Niagara front. So I'm going to attack Fort George. So advanced results, I need a 1 or a 2. Now I've got a reroll, but this is a -1. So I need to get a 4 or higher in order to get this. Definitely did. Don't need the reroll, so I push these guys back right here. Super cool. Awesome. All right, so I'm also, that was 1 action point, or I'm just going to call them action points, to place the regular army there. Then it was 1 resource point, action point, to attack here, pushing them back to Fort Erie. And now I'm going to also attack, oh boy, that's a fort. I'm going to still try it. Sackett's Harbor here is going to attack Kingston. All right. And that's a 3. And Kingston is a fort, so that's -1. So that is a no advance. So nothing happens there. And that's the end of the Americans' first turn. Now we do the British action. And they are going to roll a 6. So it is an odd turn. So Indians are on the warpath. So we're going to put the Native American Northwest Warrior box Northwest Warrior marker here in play, which means that these are all -1, meaning that this one is probably a -2. That sucks. All right, so that's the end of turn 1. We go to turn 2. Let's see how many resources we get. And we get 1. 1 resource, and let's see here. I think what we'll do on this particular case is we're just going to fortify the northwestern front with some regulars. So there we have it. That's the end of my turn. So now we're going to do British actions again, and they got a 3 this time. So we are on an even turn this time. So even turns, the British Navy, if the British control Lake Ontario, which they do, retreat the American Niagara front marker 1 town, otherwise attack ships on Ontario. So they control this, so we have to retreat 1 on the Niagara front. Well, that sucks. Otherwise, they would have fought here in Lake Ontario. That's weird. I was actually thinking about doing that, but oh well. That is turn 3. Now we're going to see how many we get. All right, 4, which means we get 2 resource points. All right, well, we're going to attack the British ships in Lake Ontario. So ship battle results down here. I need a 4, 5, or 6. I got 4. So that works. We turn Lake Ontario over into American control. So we're just going to put that right there just like this. And then what we're going to do is we're going to attack Fort George again. And that's going to be -1 here, but I do have a die roll, a die re-roll. So that is that. I'm going to use my regulars. And I got a 5 this time. So that is definitely -1 for the fort. So that's a 4. We definitely got it, so we are going to advance that way, and this guy will come right back out here. All right, so that was 1 here and 1 there. That's my 2. Now we go to the British actions. Oops. Let's see this. Where's this? This goes here, sorry. And then British control. All right. They got a 2, and it is an odd numbered turn. So odd turns, if the British control Lake Erie, they do. This is odd, right? Yeah, odd. If the British control Lake Erie, retreat the American Northwest front 1 marker, front 1 town, otherwise attack American ships on Lake Erie. Okay, so what this does is I actually move my guys out, and they will actually come over here. So that's 1 of the 2 that could be controlled simultaneously. All right, so that's something I gotta do next turn. Let's see, I was on Worthington's website looking for the rule to help you. They have several solo games you might want to check out. They have one for Gettysburg and one on D-Day. Yes, I know. They are actually currently running a Gettysburg solo game Kickstarter. So I've already looked at that. Yeah, I'm tracking with you, Tom. Thank you. I like that it would fit on a pub table with room left for food and drink. Yes? Tiny Epic. Tiny Epic 1812. That's cool. That's funny. I already want the 2-player version. You should be playing the 1812 Overture while playing. This only seems appropriate. Yes, that's true, but it would run into copyright infringement probably. I was okay. Don't know if they were small games like this one though. I'm lost. Which side is the Vikings? You're a dork, David. He needs a 4, 5, or 6 and dice tray. Yes, a dice tray. I do actually need a dice tray. I'll go get a dice tray. Let's put it back on the table so you guys can formulate your strategy against me. Let's see. Dice tray, dice tray, dice tray. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to use a dice tower. If I can find one that, yeah, here's one. And I'll actually put it to where hopefully you can see. Let's see here. Let me put it up there. Yeah, that'll be cool. All right, super duper. Look at us just being all... See, that's even better because then I can just dump it in and you'll see it. All right, here we go. I think I was about to go to turn 4, right? So at the end of turn 4, we can't have another. So I need to get these guys out at the very least. And then I can't have them take over anywhere else. So I think they can only take one of these per turn. So as long as I get them out, I'm safe from that insta victory by the British. So let's see how many resource points I get right now. I got 4, so I get 2 resource points. Well, we know one of them is going to be up here. Let's go ahead and do that. So we're going to attack Detroit, which sounds strange, but we do have a die roll, re-roll here. We do have regulars in here, so we need a basically a 3 or higher. That's a 5. So we didn't have to do that, so we move back like so. And then my second one, I'm going to go ahead and do this because I don't want to have to keep doing this here. I'm going to attack the British Navy out here in Lake Erie. So I need a 4, 5, or 6. That is not a 4, 5, or 6, so no effect. All right, so those are my 2. Now we see what happens with the British. Oh, I'm a dork. I'm a dork. You know I'm a dork. There we go. All right, 2. We are on a even turn. And 2 is right here. Defend the capitals. Attack American front markers occupying adjacent or 2 towns away from Montreal and New York. All right, so Montreal is here. 1, 2. Nope. 1, 2. Nope. Here. 1, 2. Nope. And 1, 2. Nope. All right, so it does say that if it can't be done, nothing happens. So that is that. We go on to turn 5. Let's see how many resources I get. Ay, ay, ay. Only 1. Well, let's go ahead and try for Lake Erie again here. And that's an absolute no. And let's go with the British actions. And they get 5 this turn, and it's an odd numbered turn. So British Navy, the British control Lake Ontario. They do not. So they're going to attack the ships on Lake Ontario. That is a 1. They are beaten on Lake Ontario. Very cool. So now we go to round 6. And I get 2 resource points. All right, that's not bad, not bad, not bad. Let's, goodness gracious. That's a -2 for that one, which means that I would have to roll a 5 or 6. All right, we're going to attack the Native American, the Northwestern Warriors here first. 4 to 6. Yes! So they're out of play. Then I'm going to try to advance on Fort Malden here. And that's going to be just a straight up 3 or higher. But no, it has to be a 4 or higher because of the -1. Yes! In your faces! Didn't even have to use my regulars. All right. So now we see what the British actions are going to be. A 1. This is on an even numbered turn. So even turns: defend Upper Canada, attack the American front marker on the northwest and Niagara fronts. What? All right, so another thing that the rules do say, since I'm being attacked here, I can make them re-roll with my regulars. So we'll do that one first. So the British are attacking, are counter-attacking Fort Malden. That's a 6. We're going to re-roll that. Oh, that's a 5. It's still a defeat, so we're going to make them re-roll it. And now they have to get a 4. No. Yeah, a 4 or higher. No! In your face! Back up. Back up off me. This is my yard. Now they're going to attack over here, Fort George. And again, this is a 4 or higher, because if they roll a 3, then it would be -1 to a 2, and that would be no advance. That's a 4. They push me back. All right. So that's that. So I was wrong earlier when I said that they could only do once per turn. Maybe I need to read more. Let's see here. Good evening, Steph. Howdy, 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 howdy. Use the box lid, Sam. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to be fancy, schmancy. Gray token on the gray water does not contrast enough. Here, well, dude, it's a token. And it says American control. I think it's fine, because I look down here and I don't see a red marker. That's my thing. I don't see a red marker, so I control this. I see a red marker over here, so I don't control that. This one over here was the one that I thought was a little chintzy. They just have a box out here because Lake Champlain's not big enough. I thought that was funny. Anyway, so now we're going to go on to turn 7, and let's see how many resource points I get. 2. All right. Let's see here. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to attack the British Navy over here in Lake Erie. Oh, crap. That's a 3. No effect. Crap! Let's try again. Yes! In your faces. All right. So now, we see what the British people do. Odd number. So 5. We have an odd number turn. British control Lake Ontario. They do not. So they must battle me. All right. Low, low, low. Crap-ola. So they get that town back. Okay. Dorks. And we go to 8. All right. How many resource points do I get? Crap, dude. Why can't I just throw it in? 3. 2. I get 2 again. I think what I shall do, I'm going to attack Sackett's, from Sackett's Harbor on up here to Kingston. So this is -1, 3, and that's a result. Move on out, boys. And then I'm going to call in my regulars back here on Kingston to try to hold that spot a little bit better. So that's my 2. British action on an even number turn is a 1. Defend Upper Canada, attack the American front marker on the northwest, and Niagara front. Well, that sucks. All right, northwest first is a definite defeat. Holy crud. Even with a -1. And then on Niagara, come on, I need a miss here. Yeah! In your face, get out of my yard. All right, may contrast in person versus on screen. That is true, Luke. Are you thinking of the cube tower in Wallenstein? Yes, kind of. Oh yeah, game funnel. Yeah, that's probably what Luke was talking about. But we can't see the Dice Tower logo on the Dice Tower. Product placement, Sam. Mr. Vassal will be displeased. There, are you happy? Sam blasting some Brits. No, come on. Quite a departure from Vincent Dutrait's earlier works. Come on, David. It's not Vincent Dutrait. Seriously, though, the game looks good. Yes, it does. I never saw someone struggle so much with a dice tower. They're supposed to make dice rolling easier. Yeah, well, you be quiet, Vanessa. We all can't be as good as you. All right, so I need to go here. Oh, wait, I am in turn 9, aren't I now? because they missed here, so yes. So now I'm rolling to see how many resource points I get. Hey, I get 3 this time. Come on. All righty then. So we're going to go with regulars on the Niagara front. We're going to attack Lake Ontario with a 5, which turns that back over to American control. And then we're going to push forward on the Niagara front. So we have a reroll, and this is -1. That's a 4. I don't need the reroll. So we move forward there. Awesome sauce. All right, now the British are going to a 5 on an odd numbered turn. The British control Lake Ontario, otherwise attack American ships on Lake Ontario. All right, well, here we go. Yeah! That's cool. All right, so that's that. We go to round 10. How many resource points do I get? 3, baby! All right, so we're going to go with regulars on the northwest front, and then we're going to attack Fort Malden. So this is -1, but I do have a reroll. I'm going to need it. Yeah! All right, so we do move them forward, but we had to use our regulars to get them out there. All righty, so that was 1, 2, because I added regulars and then attacked. So I think we're going to add regulars again up here. So, because I think that's going to be crucial. All right, so let's see what the British do. A 1 on an even turn. Defend Upper Canada. So they're going to attack me here and here. So they have a -1, and I can make them re-roll if I want. Ooh, definitely going to make them re-roll. Yeah! Go regulars. And then here, they're attacking Fort George, so they are -1, and I can make them re-roll. That's a 3, which is a win, so I'm going to make them re-roll there as well. Yeah! Okay, so that was that. Now we go to turn 11. And how many? Yes, 3 again. What? Alrighty then. I'm feeling a little spunky. I think what I'm going to do is, my first one's going to come over here, and we're going to attack La Colle from Plattsburgh. And no, we're going to add regulars first, and then we're going to attack over here on the northeast front. This is round 2. That's not a fort, so that beats. So we move up, and they move up here. That was 2 actions, and my third action is going to be to try to gain American control down here in Lake Champlain. 4 ship battles, that works. So that is the coolness. Let's see here. Sam might also be hamming it up for us a bit too. This much enthusiasm. We've never guessed you were only recently a converted solo gamer. Canada definitely has the better side of the falls. That is absolutely true, yes. All right, yes, I am hamming it up. Let's see. Fort Erie, Fort George, and Fort Niagara are still around too. Neat to see if you've ever in the area of the falls. Huh, that's cool. All right, so now we are seeing what the British player is going to do on an odd numbered turn. 3. Odd turns, British Navy. If they control Lake Champlain, they don't, because I just took it from him. So they're going to attack me there. Ooh, ouch. Sound victory. Because, yeah, all right. So that's what they did. Now we go on to round 12. And, oh, dadgummit. Here we go. 3. So I get two resource points. All right. So what I think I'm gonna do here is I think we're going to push forward on the northwest front, but we're going to add regulars first, and then we're going to push forward to Moravian Town. So this has to be a 3 or higher, and I can re-roll if I wish. Don't need to. Push them back. Push them back. Alrighty. So that's that. So I added 1 and attacked. Those are my 2 resource points. The British have a 5 on an even numbered turn. Attack American ships on American controlled lakes. So they're going to attack Lake Ontario and Lake Erie. So we'll do Ontario first. And ship battles, here we go. Needs to be a 4, 5, or 6. Ouch. And then Lake Erie. Ouch. Well, that kind of sucked. On to round 13. How many resource points do I get? I get 2. All right. Well, we're going to go with Lake Ontario first. We're attacking the British ships. Yes. And then I think we'll attack Fort Erie. That's going to be a -1 though. I think, no, we're not going to attack. We're just going to add more regulars to Fort George. And try to hold position and then maybe move forward next turn. All right, British actions on an odd. 1, odd turns, defend Lower Canada, attack American marker on the northeast and Niagara fronts. Oh, northeast and Niagara. Here we go. Is that right? Yeah? No. I rolled a 1. Northwest and Niagara fronts. Duh. All right, so we'll do northwest first. And I have a re-roll, and this is a straight up die roll, so it needs to be a 3, 4, 5, or 6. That's a 4. We'll make them re-roll it, because that's what they're there for. Ugh. All right. And now, down here on the Niagara front, this is going to be a -1, so it needs to be a 4, 5, or 6. We'll make them re-roll it. This still needs to be a 4, 5, or 6. Yes! All right, so that doesn't happen. And go on to turn 14. And how many resources do I have? Got 3. Yeah, baby. All right, so these are really important, I guess. Kind of, sort of. We'll put this out. That's 1, 2, and then we're going to battle the British here in Lake Erie. 4. Yeah! All right, what do the British do in an even numbered turn? Oof, ouch. Even turns, other fronts, Chesapeake, Gulf, etc. Reduce American regulars by 1. Player choice. No. All right, we'll do that. I just lost regulars because they had to be reassigned. All right. Well, that's not bad, actually. How many resource points do I get this turn? 4, that's 2. All right, so I get 2. So let's go ahead and go up to Elizabethtown from Kingston. Ooh, let's re-roll that. Yeah. And then let's go back into Moravian Town here. Yeah. So that was my 2. Now on an, I think I should have moved that up. Even, yeah, that was even. No, wait. Yeah, even turn. I did this last turn, so it's got to be odd this turn. Okay, so odd 4. All turns, British regulars, flip over 2 British front markers, 2 regulars. Player's choice, if not flipped already. So, okay. No, I don't want to flip that one over. That's a big old fort. I'll flip these guys over. So now there are British regulars here and here. Ah, it sucks. Dang it. So now they're like a walking fort. Poopy poopies. All right, how many resources do I get now? Turn 16. Yes. So we're definitely adding this here. That's 1. And then we're going to, oh, that's a -2, isn't it? Oh, but I have a die roll. Okay, I'm going to attack here for number 2. This needs to be a 5 or a 6. Is that right? Is -2? Yep. Okay. Yeah! In your faces! Bam! All right, that was my second one. I have one more. Let's go up here. Yeah, let's knock the Brits out of London, eh? All right, here we go. So this is just a regular 4, 5, or 6. Got him! That comes back on over here. Sweet. Sweet. All right, even number turn. What do the British do? 5. Even turns. Attack American-controlled ships. So, okay, Ontario will be first. Missed! And Lake Erie. That's cocked. Miss! It was literally like hanging up there, so don't holler at me. 17. All right, at this point, if we roll a 6 for the British on their turn, then the game ends immediately. All right, so let's see how many resource points I get. Oh, I get a whopping 1 resource point. Let's go ahead and try to take Fort Erie over here with our 1 resource point. So we need a 4, 5, or 6. Got him. And then for the British player, it's a 3 on an odd. So odd turns. If the British control Lake Champlain, they do. Retreat the American northeast marker, 1 town. So they push back. They retook the fort. All right. How many resources do I get? Yeah, 3. Okay. So What I think we're going to do is we're going to put this guy out here. That's 1. Boom. That's 1. 2 is going to be Lake Champlain. Yes. And then three is going to be Isle au Noir. Isle au Noir. So it is a -1 and a reroll. So 4, 5, or 6. Got him. Okay. Now let's see what the British do on an even numbered turn. 4, even, all turns. Flip over 2 British front markers. Dang it. All right, well, that's not, so we'll go ahead and do that one. Maybe that one. Let's go with this. No, let's go with this one. So 1 and 2. All right. 19. 2. So I get 1 resource. Let's go ahead and go push up here to Brantford. So Brantford needs to be a 3, 4, 5, or 6. Got 'em. And that's the only one I got. So now, on an odd numbered turn, 3. If they control Lake Champlain, retreat. They don't control, so they're going to fight here. And they lose. So now we go to turn 20. And I get 2 resource points. So let's go ahead and do, we're going to do 1 up here. We're going to attack York. Oh, that's a, holy cow, that's a big miss. So I'm going to re-roll. That is, it's a -2, so that's a 4, that's a 2, that's a no advance. So nothing happens there. And then my second one is going to be let's push on Prescott here from Elizabethtown. Oh, we got a re-roll there. Still nothing. Wow. All right, turn 20, even numbered turns. See what happens. 3 even turns. Lake Ontario, they don't, so they fight the American ships in Lake Ontario. They don't make it. All right. At the end of round 20, I believe the game is over. I did not achieve absolute victory, but I didn't take Montreal. I didn't take York, so nothing happens there. 1 victory point for each town other than Montreal, York, or starting American towns. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that's 10 points. A 1 point for each lake controlled. 11, 12, 13. Deduct 2 for, so that doesn't happen. Deduct 2 for the Northwest Warrior marker. That's not happen. And deduct 2 for American flag towns. Then that doesn't happen. So 13 was my total. So if I got 11 to 16, it's a draw. It was the historical result. Canada will eventually become an independent nation from Great Britain. Well, there you have it. You're welcome, Canada. I'll wait here for all of you Canadians to say Thank you. Vanessa had to head out. Sorry. Needs to eat dinner before heading off to trivia. No worries. Have a good night. I think you are misinterpreting reassigned rules versus KIA troops. No, that is not the case. They were reassigned. I've always, let's see, American side still doesn't do much around it except a casino. Yeah, they're talking about Niagara Falls, yeah. There isn't a whole lot on the American side. I mean, hardly at all. The Canadian side is definitely much more of the tourist gathering. Stefan says, I've never heard of this before, but it looks like a fun solo game. It was fun. You're basically just rolling a die and trying to make educated decisions on what you're going to do with what's given you, realizing that the die roll for the British are definite things that happen, and those aren't really left to chance except for when they attack you. But even still, you're still kind of you're trying to prepare ahead of time by placing your regulars out in the right places where they might show up and attack you and that kind of thing, so you can force them to re-roll. I think since it all comes down to one die roll, getting your, and this is just an initial impression, getting your regulars spread out, I think is an important thing, so you can mitigate those dice rolls a little bit. Seems like a very unbalanced lucky rule. What unbalanced lucky rule? What are you talking about, Tom? Any historical educational materials included? Actually, yes. It actually has a bunch of information here on which I will read you, since we did get done pretty quick. The War of 1812 along the Canadian border, a pivotal chapter in American history. The War of 1812, fought between the United States and Great Britain from June 18, 1812 to February 17, 1815, was a pivotal moment in American history. One of the primary objectives of the United States during this conflict was the invasion and conquest of Canada. Several significant factors contributed to the outbreak of the war, including the ongoing clash of British and American interests in the Northwest Territory, and the desire of the frontier expansionists to seize Canada as a bargaining chip while Great Britain was preoccupied with the Napoleonic Wars. In the initial phase of the conflict in 1812, the United States faced a series of setbacks along the Canadian border. Fort Mackinac fell on August 6th, Fort Dearborn was evacuated on August 15th, and Fort Detroit surrendered without a fight on August 16th. Attempts to invade Canada across the Niagara Peninsula in October and toward Montreal in November proved unsuccessful, marking a challenging period for the American forces. However, amidst these failures, there were moments of resilience. Brigadier General William Henry Harrison's efforts to recapture Detroit were repulsed in January 1813. Still, he managed to check British advances in the region near the western end of the Lake Erie during the summer of 1813. In April 1813, Major General Henry Dearborn's expedition successfully captured Fort Toronto and partially burned York, the capital of Upper Canada. Additionally, American forces led by Colonel Winfield Scott seized Fort George and the town of Queenston across the Niagara in May-June 1813. However, the British regained control of this area late in December 1813. One of the turning points in the war occurred on September 10, 1813, when Commodore Oliver Hazard Perry defeated the British fleet on Lake Erie. This victory opened the way for Harrison's triumph at the Thames River on October 5, 1813, which reestablished American control over the Northwest. However, the tides of war continued to ebb and flow along the Canadian border. In March 1814, Major General James Wilkinson led an American advance on Montreal from Plattsburgh, but it was checked just beyond the border. Nonetheless, on July 3, 1814, General Brown's forces successfully seized Fort Erie across the Niagara in a coordinated attack with Commodore Isaac Chauncey's fleet. aimed at wresting control of Lake Ontario from the British. Subsequent troop maneuvers in the Niagara region led to a significant battle near the Chippewa River on July 5, 1814. Brigadier General Winfield Scott's well-trained troops executed a skillful charge, breaking the enemy line and forcing a hasty retreat. This victory bolstered American morale, but came at a heavy cost, both sides suffering substantial casualties. Following the Battle of Chippewa, Brown's forces advanced to across the Niagara, but a planned attack on Fort George was abandoned due to a lack of cooperation from Chauncey's fleet on Lake Ontario. Instead, Brown's forces returned to the Chippewa and prepared for a cross-country march along Lundy's Lane in the west end of Lake Ontario. Unknown to Brown, the British had concentrated many troops in the vicinity of Lundy's Lane and in Forts George and Niagara. The ensuing Battle of Lundy's Lane, fought on July 25, 1814, was a fierce and bloody encounter. In this battle, Scott's brigade, moving toward Queenstown to draw off a British detachment threatening Brown's communications line, clashed with the enemy forces. The battle escalated, involving all of Brown's forces and approximately 3,000 British troops. Neither side emerged with a decisive victory, and the Americans eventually retired to the Chippewa. The battle proved costly, with heavy casualties on both sides and prominent leaders, including Brown and Scott, wounded. Following the Battle of Lundy's Lane, the British attempted to siege Fort Erie from August 2nd to September 21st, 1814. However, they failed to dislodge the Americans from this crucial outpost on Canadian soil. Eventually, on November 5th, 1814, the Americans withdrew voluntarily from Fort Erie. Another significant naval victory for the Americans occurred on September 11, 1814, when Commodore Thomas MacDonough defeated the British fleet on Lake Champlain, pushing back a British advance on the northeast front. In conclusion, the War of 1812 along the Canadian border was marked by a series of strategic victories and defeats, shaping the course of the conflict and influencing the future of both the United States and Canada. The war highlighted the determination and resilience of the American forces, even in the face of adversity. The battles along the Canadian border became crucial chapters in both nations' histories, demonstrating the bravery of soldiers and the complexities of international conflicts during this era. These events continue to be remembered and studied, serving as a reminder of the sacrifices made and the enduring spirit of those who fought in the War of 1812. There you have it. Roll a 6 and lose. Roll a 6 and lose. Well, no, it wouldn't be a loss. So you're talking about this right here, I imagine. Turn 17 through 20, peace occurs, the game ends immediately. No, the game ends immediately, but then you check to see how you did on the score chart. It isn't roll a 6 and lose. It just means roll a 6 and see how you did from turns 17, 18, 19, and 20. So, yeah. So, there you have it. Boom. The War of 1812. Solitaire. The Solitaire travel game. And yes, it absolutely will fit. I mean, you got to roll a dice, so, you know, maybe you're going to be rolling like, you know, against your hand or something like that if you're playing this in a pub table or something like that. But it would absolutely work that way. And it is definitely what you would imagine a solo game should be, as far as it doesn't take up a whole lot of table space. I mean, even if I don't imagine you'll carry a dice tower around with you, but like David said earlier, you could absolutely just have your box and just use that for your die roller, for your dice tray. So absolutely could work. Wait, don't read it without a spoilers warning. Yeah, whatever. Have you played any of Paulo Mori's 20-minute war games? I haven't, Tom. I haven't come across any of them actually. From now on, I expect a history lesson every time you play a game, Sam. I don't know about that. Okay, you misunderstood. No worries, Tom. I just wanted to make sure you did understand by the time we left. I do like the way you place markers in Caesar better. Feels more like an area control game than Blitzkrieg, where you move a cube on a track indicating influence, but I like the space bonuses in B. There you go. All right, well, that's about it. We're going to get on out of here. Thank you for joining me. I certainly appreciate your time and effort in doing so. We will be here tomorrow with a live stream at 1 o'clock. So we will see you guys and gals on the flip side, 1 p.m. tomorrow. Tomorrow morning, don't forget, we are going to have our top 5 most anticipated games coming out this year of 2025. And then over on the Dice Tower, we will also have our bottom 5, number 6 through 10, games, most anticipated games of 2025 as well. So you can check those out tomorrow morning. And then tomorrow afternoon, head on back over here and we'll be playing a game live for your enjoyment and our entertainment. Anyway, we'll see you guys and gals on the flip side. Take care. Thanks for being here.